Hello today, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back one more time to Bloodborne. Now, there's some extra things that I wanted to get on footage that I think will make for interesting views. Because there are a lot of weird things hidden in Bloodborne that we didn't get to cover in the main playthrough. Now, one of them I've already prepared because it's a strange kind of side quest line. It's more of an Easter egg that I had completely forgotten about until today. So let's see what I find inside of this. It's the Ring of Betrothal. This is a very rare thing that you can find in the... I believe this is the root version of the Great Thumeru-Il Chalice, which is the one that we did on camera. So when I get the root version of that, if you come in here, you can find this particular ring. Though it is random, you are not guaranteed to get it in your root Chalice Dungeon. So I had to use a glyph in order to find one guaranteed. Here we go. The inhuman beings known as the Great Ones imbued this ring of betrothal with some special meaning. In the age of the Great Ones, wedlock was a blood contract only permitted to those slated to bear a special child. Now with this ring, there is one thing you can do with it, though it's not very obvious. So let's go get that taken care of. And here we are back at Forsaken Castle Cainhurst in Annalise's chamber. So let's kneel before the Queen.
Bearer of our blood, I welcome thee. What is thy wish?
Now, in addition to offering blood dregs to her, you can propose marriage.
Speak not those words. We have little need of a consort. Such a path would belike lead to further ruin. Thou art dear to us. We would see no harm befall thee.
And that's all you get. I believe she repeats it. Let's see what's unique.
Still thy honeyed tongue. The thought alone sufficeth. Thy worth is too great. Now, speak no more on the matter. Honor.
Okay, that's your final one. Very nice. And that's it. It's just to get those 3 lines of dialogue. So looking at the ring one more time and trying to, I guess, decipher the hidden meaning behind it. The inhuman beings known as the Great Ones imbued this ring of betrothal with some special meaning. In the age of the Great Ones, wedlock was a blood contract only permitted to those slated to bear a special child. That sounds very similar to what we've seen of Queen Yharnam inside of the loft in the Nightmare. And Marigot being guarded by the wet nurse. So it kind of implies that the Pthumerians had some sort of special contact with the Great Ones long before the time of Bergenorth and Yharnam. And because of the weird way in which the Great Ones seem to reproduce or fail to reproduce or something, because they all lose their children and yearn for a surrogate, that the Pthumerians were some sort of like third-party vessel, and we seem to have taken care of that in killing Marigot. Very weird. Okay, next on the docket is something I teased doing during these streams, but that's killing every NPC that's left in the game, because there's really no reason to keep them alive, so we can find out what their special drops are. Oh, nothing. There we go. That's an interesting line. No surprise, she drops a sedative. Oh, Irish McGee, you are done. Pungent blood cocktail, useless. Adela. Ooh, Odin Wraith. Let's read that. I don't know if I have one of these yet. Where are you? Yeah, you're a first. A carol rune that transcribes inhuman sounds. Wraith sees a subtle mucus in the warmth of blood and acknowledges visceral attacks as one of the darker hunter techniques. Visceral attacks restore quicksilver bullets. Human or no, the oozing blood is a medium of the highest grade, and the essence of the formless Great One Odin. Both Odin and his inadvertent worshippers stereotypically seek the precious blood. Alright, so that's similar to a few other item descriptions. Now finally, the Dweller. I believe you drop a rune. Oh, he's scared. Because he knows what I've been doing.
I just wanted people.
And you did help me by giving me the Formless Odin, a upgraded version, I think. That might have been the third one, actually. Nice. Okay, there's some other people to go murder. Let's go check it out. Well, I was going to come kill Eileen, but apparently she leaves after her quest line is finished, so lucky you, Eileen. I don't get to test out whether or not using the choir bell on you actually kills you. I raised my arcane to 15 for no reason. Great. Okay, Voltaire, let's see what you got for me, because I have never struck you once before.
League, that you self-abased, foul mess of rotten flesh. When you are dead, your red blood will curdle with vermin.
Oh, you get his helm. That's right. I remember hearing that. Another one bites the dust. Alright, interesting. So apparently killing Voltaire caused this hunter right here to just appear out of nowhere. Don't know what his deal is. I assume he's a Lee Confederate. At least I think that's why this guy showed up. Because there's definitely not usually a hunter here. What is this? I've never seen this item before in my life. It's an arcane usable. Whistle of the Madaris twins, denizens of the Forbidden Woods. These are the guys that used to look over this place. The twins grew up alongside a poisonous snake and developed a silent inhuman kinship. The poisonous snake grew uncontrollably, raised on a healthy diet of beast entrails. Even after their deaths, it is said to respond to the calls of the twins' whistle from within the nightmare. Weird. And because I raised my arcane, I can actually use this thing. Okay. Well then, moving on. Okay, back with our old friend Jura. Now, I already re-aggroed Jura by complete accident off camera, because I just bumped into one of the beasts of old Yharnam, and that triggered his unique dialogue where he's like, well, a hunter is a hunter after all, and now he's forever pissed again. So I'm gonna kick his ass this time. I'd rather kill you up here so that you don't go flying off. Yeah, you have no chance. Pop all the blood vials you want. Did that even hit me?
Just think about what you're doing. It's utter madness.
And he dropped nothing. Well, had he not already given me his badge before, he would have dropped it just then. Now I'm curious to see whether or not his stuff will unlock at the shop now that I've done that to him. Yeah, sure enough, here's his set. The Grey Wolf cap, Ashen Hunter garb, gloves and trousers. Attire of the retired hunter Jura, painted with ash in a ceremony to ward off blood. Jura is known through his contact with the powder kegs, the heretics of the workshop. He is said to have been both uncommonly kind and dreadfully foolish. Jura felt defeated by the state of old Yharnam and renounced his hunter's vows. Now, what's interesting about this set is that it is particularly known for being very resistant to frenzy. It's actually one of the best frenzy sets. So let me add, let's see, what, 3 more? Should be able to get me the entire set. Purchase items. Nice. Now we have all Jura stuff. And we can see that his hat is actually pretty cool. Wherever it is. There we go. You get the cool little effect, or like the look of the regular hunter hat, but it comes with the bandage over the right eye. So if you want to make like a punished version of your hunter, you can do that. Now you may be asking yourself, well, what happens if you try to kill Annalise? Let's find out.
How sad this is. If only our life was so easily forfeit.
Remember, she's immortal, and I don't think I'm going to have the ability to grind her into dust the way Alfred did.
Arrant fool. Vile blood or no, forget not. We are thy queen. Bend the knee.
Sorry, Annalise.
Well, well. Thou wearest a second face. It matters not. Our flesh is undying. Speak thy mind.
She don't give a fuck.
We await thy return. For the honor of Canehurst.
So it doesn't matter. Another interesting thing that can happen is the doll can go back to being completely inanimate if you have 0 insight. I don't think this ever happened in the playlist. I think only once did I reduce my insight to 0, but it immediately went back up before I had the chance to return to the dream. But fear not, it affects nothing. Ultimately, you can still channel your blood echoes and level up. You just can't have a conversation. That's all that it changes. Okay, we are back in the Nightmare of Mensis. I used the lamp that I got for defeating Marigo's wet nurse to come through this way. And there's Yharnam. And she fades out. Of course, if you try to strike her before you defeat Marigo's wet nurse, you totally can. And I don't think anything happens. I think she screams and disappears. And that's pretty much it. But now, because I actually fought Queen Yharnam, we know exactly who that was. Here we are in New Game Plus. Hello, Eileen. Back at her original spawning point, but things aren't going to go so well this time.
You sorry drunk. I'll string you up like a beast you are. You shall not pay your crimes. Were you not once a hunter? Is this simple? That's enough now.
That all you got to say? Well, 2 can play at this dual wielding business. And she drops a Bold Hunter's Mark. Normally, she would drop a her badge, but I already got it in the first playthrough. So that's all she drops this time. On to the next. And now we got Alfred. Now, I've never tried to aggro Alfred in this early stage. I fought him in Annalise's chamber before once he has the Ardeo and the Ligarius wheel out, so I don't know what's going to happen now.
Just what is them?
Oh, I cut him off a little bit somehow. Okay, he pulls out the stuff I saw him use against the Bloodstarved beast. That did a lot of damage. He does have New Game Plus tech, so... So he's got the Kirk Hammer and the Ludwig's rifle, I think. Oh, he pops a blood vial. Oh, I'm surprised that didn't count. Walked right into it. What a dumbass.
Regret this.
I really won't. I mean, what does he drop? Oh, fire paper. That's what he gives you if you talk to him. I mean, I really won't regret this. Your Covenant rune is not very good, Alfred. Sorry. And finally, you may be asking yourself, well, what happens if you try to kill Gehrman 1 minute into the game, considering he ends up being one of the last bosses? Well, that's what happens. Nothing happens. You can't kill him, obviously. And he just has like a weird fade out, which seems to be unique to him. I don't know if I've ever seen any other character with that particular animation for just disappearing. It's like he got beamed back to the Enterprise or something. Alright, back to the end of the first game we go. Okay, we got a few Chalice Dungeons to look at, which have cut content in them. These were made using like edited save files and some trickery, not normal techniques. So the first one we're going to look at is a Chalice Dungeon with enemies in it. Just enemies. It's a big hallway full of enemies. I suppose it's used for just testing them. There are a couple of weird, unique things in here though. But the second I get dropped in, I'm going to be in immediate danger, so excuse me for a second. As you can see, very dangerous. This might take a couple tries to clear out just this first little area. Okay, things have finally calmed down. This has been much harder than I expected it to be, because I've been wanting to show you this enemy. This guy's a ghost who doesn't attack. And he kind of phases in and out. Maybe he was supposed to possess you or something. I don't know what his deal is. But he's totally cut and unique. And there are people throwing stuff at me. And it's a lot harder to keep him alive than it looks. He seems to die in this area very easily. Either due to friendly fire or me just trying to clear out other enemies. So getting to this point has been really difficult. Don't know where he went. It's also possible, as you can see, that this arena is not real. that the world ends right there. You can totally fall off and just go out of world. Eventually you'll hit some sort of end and die. So it might even be possible for him to path out and somehow fall to his death. No, there he is. I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be like a Thumerian ghost or something. I don't know. He's done now. Thank goodness that's over. Just getting this guy on film was hard. So this hallway goes on for quite a bit. As you can see, things are a little not normal here. For one, I can't hit these celestial dudes that are buried underground. Some enemies are strong, some enemies are weak. You can see that my bullets will actually one-shot a lot of things in here. This guy with the frickin' crossbow is really annoying, though. I need to kill him right away. Okay, this is a problem. Oh, guy with a chain and mace. This is a combination I'm not too familiar with. All right. No, there's still you. These shield fuckers are so annoying because they're in the wrong game, and you can encounter them inside of the Chalice Dungeons, but they are in the wrong fucking game. Get out of here with your shield bullshit. Okay, so this dude who I've kept alive, he's also unique. He's a man-bear pig or something. He's very pig-like, but he's also very like regular furry beast. So you see, he kind of has I pull out the torch. He has like cleric beast antlers going on. He's carrying what looks like the hunter axe. He sniffs. So part of me wonders if this dude is supposed to be like a modified beast version of like the NPC hunters you encounter. Like maybe there is a plan at one point where the hunters would beast out and look like this. I don't know. What's weird is that he goes into a two-hander and a one-hander. Now obviously there are transformations that go like two-handed versions, but his is more of the Dark Souls style, like no, I'm gonna hit triangle and I'm now gonna two-hand this weapon. He's interesting. He doesn't have a lot going on. If you're wondering whatever this is underground that's making the noise, I don't know. Something I can't interact with. Thank you, I need blood vials. I also need bullets, so... Whoops, I should do that, and a little bit of this. There are a couple other interesting things at the end of this hallway, so let me clear out more enemies and get there. Okay, we also have whatever these things are. I don't know if these guys appear in the main game or not, or if they're like a rare Chalice Dungeon enemy. They don't attack, so I'm guessing not. They're real strange. They're definitely Thumerian. Alright, let's keep exploring. And they were even kind enough to throw in a bloodletting beast. A Chalice Dungeon boss, just a regular old enemy. I think that's because he can show up as a regular enemy in like certain Chalice Dungeons, though the odds are very low with like root dungeons that have tons of offerings put into them. So he has normal health, luckily. There we go. And would you look at that? That is Patch's head floating around, although the target would indicate that he has a body. But he does attack. Let's see what he does. Or maybe he can't damage me. Try again, buddy. Okay, maybe you can't. Oh, I think what he's doing is the regular spider animation. Because he doesn't technically have a body, he can't hurt me. There's a hitbox on him. Oh, bye. And finally, here at the very end, we have Patches. Though you can't talk to him like you can normal Patches. This is the one that's supposed to appear as a merchant, so that's why right here, even though there's really nothing there, is a bath messenger prompt. And I can actually buy things from it. At very high prices, of course. And there's nothing unique about it. It's not like it's going to give you a secret chalice or anything. Now, I read that killing this Patches, if you haven't killed the Patches in your main game already, will have the Great One's Wisdom drop that you get from Patches. But, because I already killed Patches, he shouldn't drop anything. And indeed, he didn't. I also read that should Patches be alive in your main game and you kill that guy, it doesn't affect anything, so no worries there. That's the hallway of hell. We saw a few unique enemies. I found lots of weird bugs. There are tons of invisible walls around this place, which is why I can't get this item. It's unattainable. Maybe if I go at it at the right angle, I could possibly get it, but whatever. Well, that does it for this one. Now we got to check out a couple of cut bosses. Okay, let's check out those bosses. So this first Chalice Dungeon should take me right into a boss arena that has a cut boss in it. Behind me, actually. This is the Great One Beast. It's kind of horse-like. I suppose it's supposed to be a cross between the two. So you'll note that the cut bosses don't exactly have normal properties, because obviously they were never meant to be fought. So his movement's really erratic. His animation's not great. He has whatever this attack is, which is a little unfair. Also, he's not textured very well. Oh, what might be going on with him is that his hurt box might just be super inaccurate. He seems to do damage via contact, which is not how everything else in the game works. So getting too close to him might do damage? I'm not sure. He kind of seems like a prototype of maybe what happened with Amelia. Like, there I'm taking damage, but I don't know from what. It's like he was stepping on me there, but he wasn't. I don't know what he's doing. What are you doing? Ooh. Also, I've seen screenshots of what I believe is the same boss, but without the fur textures on him. And without it, he looks completely different. He looks like a different enemy. Kind of looks like a dinosaur. I need to kill him. This has gone on long enough. Well, that's where we entered from, I think, and this is the exit. Can I? No, I'm just gonna fall out of world. And the music stops. Well, that does it for this one. Let's load back and see what the next boss is. Okay, this boss is the one that has made the rounds. This is the famous one that people have discovered. And it is an alternate version of the Moon Presence. So this arena is a bit different. I have a door I have to open. And actually, before I go in there... Where's my bolt paper? This is actually more of a fight. And of course, because he's not a real, like, boss, he doesn't have normal properties, so he has no problem swinging at you through the door. And I'm inside myself a little bit. Okay, can I get in? Yeah. So we're on, like, a shore here. So this is Moon Presence alternate form. It's clipping into the ground a little bit. That's okay. So you'll see that he's not exactly textured fully either. He clearly is not finished. There are parts of him that just don't look right, like he didn't completely load in because they weren't done with him. But overall, I like the concept a lot. I said in the last video, when I beat the game, that I've actually always found Gehrman to be more difficult than the Moon Presence. I don't know why that is. Like, the Moon Presence definitely has, like, things about him that can be very difficult. As you can see here, we're just walking on water here. There's no, like, no danger. The Moon Presence has attacks that can cause you trouble, like that thing that drains you to 1 hit point, and you have to immediately recover. As I saw, he had the ability to stop blood vial usage. He's got some tough stuff. But also, if your attack stats are high enough and you combine it with bolt paper like I'm about to, he also isn't all that difficult. Now granted, I was way huge, and like what I did to him was not representative of, you know, what people experienced when Bloodborne came out at the start of 2015. Like, ending the game at 157, I think I was, is just ridiculous. That's not fair. That's super broken. When I beat the game the first time, I said I was at level 100, exactly, even. But still, I wouldn't call him super difficult. He didn't take me, you know, like an hour to beat the way it took me with Gehrman. Gehrman took me maybe like 2 or 3. So, I'm a little disappointed that this guy got cut out of the game because when you beat Gehrman, he's dead forever. So you don't have to fight Gehrman and Moon Presence back to back. I obviously didn't. I used a Bolt Hunter's Mark to leave the arena so that I could look at all of Gehrman's goodies. But should you fight them back to back and die, no big deal. You'll go back into that arena and just fight the Moon Presence. You don't have to worry about Gehrman anymore. So that's why I think it would have been cool had the Moon Presence had a second phase, make him a bit more difficult and interesting. And I actually backed up so far that the boss music stopped. Now it restarts. It would have been cool, I think. I think he needed that little bit of extra challenge to make him a bit more memorable. Then again, as much as I love FromSoftware and the Souls-like games, I would say only like one of them has had a really great boss. Final boss, I mean. Maybe 2 if you count demons, though personally I've never actually beat demons. I've only seen it been beat. I would say that and DS3 are really on point with their final bosses. Dark Souls 2 is a big disappointment. Dark Souls 1 is really subdued on purpose. And then they kind of try harder with Gehrman and Moon Presence, though it's still not quite what I wanted. Like, cost is closer to what I want in terms of overall challenge. Alright, let's take care of him. Also, maybe appropriately when I think about it, Bloodborne and Dark Souls share that in common in that their DLC final boss is like more of the true final boss. Same way cost is like the biggest challenge in this game, pretty much. Dark Souls 1's DLC, which is also singular, just like Bloodborne's is just the old hunters. That game's final DLC boss is very difficult. Ooh. Oh, I ran out. Ow. You see that his, like, overall tech is not that impressive. He doesn't have a big move list. He basically only has, like, I don't know, 2... Well, that was different. I'm dead. I don't know what just killed me. That was weird. God, he shut me up. I was like, he doesn't really have that many attacks. Then I got killed by I don't know what. Just did 4,200 to him. Oh my god. Really? It just wouldn't be a Bloodborne boss without me having to cut footage. Well, you get the boss death animation, you get the blood rain, but the music doesn't stop, and the fog door doesn't open either, so I'm stuck in here. Well, good thing I made a backup. Yep, super stuck in here. That's a bummer. Okay, let's cut back to being in the Hunter's Dream. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that completely wraps up Bloodborne. For real this time. Every little thing covered, even the cut content and bonus stuff that I didn't get to do in the main LP. It's all done. So thank you very much for having joined me. And I will see you all in Lordran.